Hey, welcome to my podcast. I'm Manina, and you are listening to an episode of Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger podcast. Today we're going to talk about healing. So my inspirational quote for the day is, healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls our lives. Hey y'all, welcome to Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger podcast number 2. I am excited to come and talk to y'all today. I want to say happy holidays to all of my Muslim friends, family, brothers and sisters. Today is Eid. It's the end of Ramadan 2020. So I just want to say Eid Mubarak, all of you guys. This year I decided to fast. My father is a devout Muslim, and I just wanted to honor him. And also fasting and prayer is just a blessing, no matter what your denomination is. Eid Mubarak to all of you. Now it's back to the regularly scheduled program. We get to eat. You got some more energy. You could work out. You could do all the things that you were doing before Ramadan that maybe you weren't able to do. And it feels good. And most of all, it feels good to have prayed and fasted. I hope that all your prayers were answered and your blessings coming down. Today, I want to talk about healing. According to Dr. Mariel Buke, I'm not sure if I'm saying that name correctly, but according to Dr. Mariel, these are 5 signs of healing. Now, these are not the only 5 signs, but these are 5 of the signs that you are working towards healing. So these include 5 of the signs. Taking greater responsibility for your action, breaking patterns that don't serve you anymore, giving yourself permission to be you, creating spaces for healing with others, and making space for love. And man, these are really good points. These are really, really good points. And I just believe that these are really high on the list of signs. Taking responsibility for your actions is ace. That is the number one thing, because if you don't do it, nobody will. It's so true. It proves true in so many situations I see around me, in so many situations in my life. When I chose to make a difference came in my life. No matter how hard it felt, how hurtful it was, I took responsibility and I took ownership of my life. I owned my life. That's how it worked. Breaking patterns that don't serve you anymore. Oh man, we hear this all the time. If it doesn't serve you, don't serve it. And it's true. That's not selfish. That's self-preservation, and it's necessary for you to grow in who you are and grow in who you want to be. If you're not breaking patterns, you're not going to develop and grow. That's just plain and simple. Whether you brought those patterns into your life or not, you got to break them. If you want a different life, you got to work on something in a different way. Giving yourself permission to be you. Stand up for yourself. This is me. This is who I am. I'm growing. I'm learning. That'll take you real far. The crazy thing is that people who do the wrong things are really good at that. They're really good at giving themselves permission to be them. What they'll even do is make up stories and lies so that they can continue to be who they want to be at your expense. If you're ever gonna take a page out of that kind of person's book, take that page out. Give yourself permission to be you. Do what you got to do the right thing for you. I'm not saying lie and cheat and hurt people. What I'm saying is stand in your worth, stand in who you are, and be okay with standing in that. Even though people might disagree with you, and it might tell you you're crazy, but that's all right. That's their business. That have nothing to do with you. Their opinion is their business, not yours. Creating spaces for healing with others. Now that's good. Creating spaces for healing with others. That's good. That sounds like therapy. That sounds like thinking before you speak. That sounds like living in peace. And that sounds like creating a circle of people who care about you and who know better and do better for themselves, so they can encourage you to do the same while you on your journey. That's what that sounds like to me. And making space for love. And I am a huge advocate for the thinking like, if you want love, you have to be able to accept it. And if you are living in harm and living in a deficit emotionally, you cannot accept love in its entirety. It's too big, it's too heavy, it's too overwhelming for you to accept and you to live in. So there's no other way around it but making space for that. And in making space for that, you have to heal. You have to be in a healed space in order to fully let true love in. And true love is not only for a partner or a lover or something like that. That's family. That's friends. That's your kids. Your parents. In order to let true love in, you have to be in a healed state. You can let sensations in and thought processes in partially. But the actual true love, you can never attain that if you're not in a healed state. I want to talk about what I'm grateful for. Like I said earlier, I participated in Ramadan, and I'm just grateful not only to be able to eat and drink water during the day. Because Ramadan this year, these days was long. You start at like 4 o'clock and you can't eat until 8 p.m., 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. It was hard. It was rough, okay? But I'm most grateful for making a connection with my father, understanding his religion, his denomination much more, which gave me a better understanding of him and helped us to build our bond, which is so great to me. And yesterday, I'm not usually a very emotional person, not overly emotional really, but I just felt so good. I felt so grateful, and I saw small gestures of people being loving and kind, and it just brought me to tears. It made me so grateful for the good that is in this world, however small it is. It was just an overwhelming feeling of thank you, Lord, for the good that is in this world. It's so great that it can come in the smallest package and it can overwhelm you with joy. That's what I'm grateful for today. What are you guys grateful for? I hope that you're able to be grateful for a lot, and if you're not able, I hope that you're able to find something to be grateful for and hang on to that. Even if it's the smallest thing that can bring you joy, hang on to that. So this is the introvert corner, the part of my podcast where I speak from an introvert's mind and way of thinking. And just tell my truth. Speak my truth. My truth that I'm realizing. And though it's gonna be uncomfortable, I already know I have to grow from and grow out of. Realizing that the more and more I function in my purpose and I live in my purpose, the more and more I realize this introverted personality, I'm not built. Okay? This is a very extroverted life purpose. And with this introverted living and thinking and being, I'm not equipped yet. And it just seems a lot bigger than something that I can handle. And why I am sharing that with others is because I know there's so many more people who are just to themselves, and it's not about fear, because I know that I know, and I'm not really scared of many things in this life. So I know that I know, but it's just not the top capabilities that I have yet. Sure, I'm gonna grow and I'm going to obtain them. But right now, it's feeling kind of crazy, y'all. That's my self-observation as an introvert. Are y'all going through things where they just seem like they're just not part of your character yet, but you know you have to work towards them, you know you have to build that? I don't think I'm in this alone, so I just wanted to share that. I just wanted to encourage those who are going through that with me to keep pushing forward and keep learning and keep absorbing. Take your quiet time. Let that regenerate you, because we know we love our quiet time. And when it's time to burst into action, we might not be able to do it for long periods of time, but when we do it, we're going to do it big. So this is my introvert corner of the podcast, and I just wanted to share that with y'all. I'm growing. I'm learning. Sometimes I just want to stay home. So I have some final thoughts on healing and self-esteem and how they come hand in hand and how the lack thereof causes harm to you. Having low self-esteem is not necessarily being weak. Living in the harm that you experience can cause you to perpetuate the same negative actions and thinking that were forced on you. And it's leading you to experience the same negative cycles in your life. It may not feel fair to have to be responsible to clean up the mess that others may have caused in your life, but the fact remains that it's the only foolproof way to know that it's going to get done. And it's going to get done the right way. If you want to see yourself as worth more than what you are experiencing, and you let that thinking guide you, it will guide you into a better situation, hands down. This is a tried and true formula, meaning that 100% of the time, it has proven to be true. And in that situation, your life will start to bloom in a way that it just wasn't blooming when you had the negativity in the center of it. You realize the more I act in that higher self-worth thinking, the better my life gets and the more peace surrounds me. You'll get to a point where you are your number one advocate, and that's the day you're able to realize that you're healing. Anything less than that feeling right there is harm. Flip side is, you could lie to yourself and secretly create tangled webs of deceit to catch those closest to you for years and years. In the end, the truth will always come up, and you will most definitely be seen as what you've been trying to prevent for being seen as for your whole life. The saddest part is, you'll affect not only your life, but the people's life that love you the most. Your kids have unnecessary childhood traumas and generational curses to break that really were for you to break. Your partners and friends will be drained from your relationship with them instead of fulfilled, or because you didn't take the time to heal. Someone who functions in a healed state will always have a much more abundant life than someone who functions and would harm them. Hurt people, but healed people heal people. Thank y'all for listening to my podcast today. I love the feedback that I got on the first podcast. I hope y'all can continue to support the Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger podcast. And how you can support it is by sharing. Share the link, share the YouTube page, and just let others know. You can also follow me on Instagram at Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger, where all my updates will be. And I do my best to share inspirational quotes and everything in my IG story. And yeah, guys, don't forget to aspire big and inspire bigger. And I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.